Hey, Truth Seekers, Zach here. Today is December 10th. A fellow Truth Seeker asked me to look at the Cecil Hotel and the death of Elisa Lamb, which happened somewhere between the end of January and early February 2013. The hotel is also associated with the death of Elizabeth Short. A movie's been made about that called The Black Dahlia, as well as a host of other women who were actresses from their era. Also, since my last video post yesterday, a fellow truth seeker has pointed out the song Murder by Numbers by the band The Police. It's off the album Synchronicity, released June 1st, 1983. I would encourage all of you who are following my blog and this research to look up that song and just read the song lyrics. You can also listen to the song. It can be streamed on YouTube. Police, Murder by Numbers. It is everything to do with what I'm talking about on this blog and this story we're about to do right here. So let's just get into it. Let's start with the Cecil Hotel and its gematria. Cecil sums to 23, hotel sums to 24, Cecil Hotel sums to 47. Also in Cecil, I want you to notice this letter sequence, also number sequence 353, created by CEC. Also the 9-3, like Thelema at the end. Hotel also ends with the 5-3 sequence. In Jewish gematria, the word hell sums to 53. At this moment in history, 53 is a very important number. So the first famous death at the Cecil Hotel happened on January 15th, 1947. Emphasis on 47, like Cecil Hotel. That death was of Elizabeth Short, actress. Elizabeth with simple English gematria sums to 88. With Pythagorean gematria, it sums to 43. Many Christian historians theorize that Jesus died on April 3rd on the current calendar, 4-3, for a 43 association for you guys, and sacrifice. So first famous death at the beginning of the year 47 on the date January 15th, 115. Again in Cecil Hotel, which sums to 47. 47, you guys, is a very important number to the occult. The city of Seattle is located on the 47th parallel north. Its most famous landmark is the Space Needle. The Space Needle has a restaurant that rotates, and it does a full rotation 360 degrees every 47 minutes. Every 47 minutes it does a full rotation. Seattle's on the 47th parallel. The word time in simple English gematria sums to 47. 20 plus 9 plus 13 plus 5 for time. All right, anyhow, moving on. So after Elizabeth Short in 47, the next very curious death was that of Helen Gurney. Also, it should be a point of clarification. Elizabeth Short did not die at the Cecil Hotel, but this is the last known place that she was before her death. The Cecil Hotel, which had opened 23 years earlier in 1924. 23 years earlier, 1924, the Cecil Hotel opened. Cecil's 23, Hotel's 24. Anyhow, after Elizabeth Short's death, Helen Gurney, actress, died. She supposedly jumped out of a window to her death. She died October 22nd, 1954. This is 7 years later. This date has a numerology of 86. 86 is an important number to these people. Both the word pyramid and triangle sum to 86 in simple English gematria, as does the word republic. Triangle and pyramid are both 8 and 6. 86. It should be noted that this happened in October. October is the only month of the 12 months that has a gematria of 33. The only one. It also happened on the 22nd day. 22 is a multiple of 11. Important number to these people. Her name in simple English gematria summed to 114, another number that has much to do with assassination, 114. And just think about the word Gurney. What does Gurney remind you of? Helen Gurney. The name Helen has a gematria of 44, like the word kill. So Helen Gurney, if she really died, it was very likely because she had the wrong name in gematria to these people's eyes. Julia Moore. Julia Moore. In Pythagorean gematria, her name sums to 47, like Cecil Hotel, like the year Elizabeth Short died. With simple English gematria, it sums to 119. 119, like Star of David, a lot like the date 9/11, like the date the Berlin Wall fell. She supposedly jumped to her death on February 11th, 211. Notice another multiple of 11. The numerology of that date, if you add it digit for digit, is 22. Remember, this person jumped to their death on the 22nd day of the month. Both very curious name gematrias, 114, 119. Helen with reduced Pythagorean gematria, you guys, sums to 26, like the God number. I didn't do all the math. You guys can always work this further. Sometimes I leave some homework up for you guys to practice. Next up, for the famous curious deaths, also said to have jumped from her window to her death, Pauline Otten. She died October 12th, 62. The date 10 plus 12 plus 62 sums to 84, has a numerology of 84 that day. The name Osgood with simple English gematria sums to 84, just like the date she supposedly jumped to her death on. Or, excuse me, not Osgood, Otten. Excuse me, truth seekers. Got mixed up there. Otten sums to 84. With Pythagorean, it sums to 21. With Pythagorean gematria, the name Pauline sums to 33. 33. So she has a 33 name. 84. Dies on a date with 84. What do you know? Another woman from the area, Pidgey Golden Osgood. She was a local kind of town hero. She was known for respecting the birds, fighting for pigeons' rights, if you can believe it, in the park. She was just a local cherished person, Pigeon Goldie Osgood. And she was found murdered on June 4th, 64 at this hotel, nearby hotel to where she lived. June 4th, 64, 6 plus 4 plus 64, this date has a numerology of 74. Like the word Jesus, like the word cross, like the word English, like the word gematria, like the word pinnacle. Think of our nation's birthday, 7/4, July 4th. I call this the day of the martyr. So that means our nation has a birthday that has a lot to do with martyrdom. So these are famous women to have either died or jumped to their deaths. Well, they've all died and have relationships with the building. It seems that the likelihood is that they've all been murdered for their name gematria, for their life numbers, and for more. Also in the history of this building, aside from the women who died here, it has two local serial killers attached to it. One is Richard Ramirez of 1985, who's said to have killed 13 women. Richard has a Pythagorean gematria of 43. It should be noted that the name Elizabeth with Pythagorean gematria also sums to 43. Again, Christian historians say that Jesus might have been crucified on April 3rd, 4-3. The name Ramirez has a Pythagorean gematria of 45. 43 plus 45 sums to 88, just like the name Elizabeth with simple English gematria. Remember, this is the first famous death here, and this is the first famous serial killer here. So look at the relationships between the numbers and their names. If you sum the name Richard Ramirez with simple English gematria, it sums to 151. Notice it has the conspiracy number in it, 151. He was known as the Night Stalker. In simple English gematria, the word the becomes 33, 20 plus 8 plus 5, and Night Stalker becomes 144. If you guys want to see the math for all of this stuff and a whole lot more, go down to my comments. I have a post link there where I did all the math so you can see to help you out. In 1991, there's said to have been another serial killer who killed 3 women in the area while staying at the hotel. His name is Jack Unterwegener. Think about Jack the Ripper. And these men are said to have killed prostitutes. Similar story to Jack the Ripper. Look at the... I wrote out the gematria of the name Unterwegener because it starts with a 3-5 sequence, going back to this Cecil thing. Sums to 55. Super important number in numerology. The word Satan sums to 55. So we have Jack, 55. And Jack, in Pythagorean gematria, J becomes 1, A becomes 1, C becomes 3, and K can remain 11. So this name Jack can be 11311. 113 and 311 are super important numbers to these people, as I've been showing over and over. So the point is, you guys, is these are murders by the numbers. Just like the Police song sung by Sting way back in 1983. That song's now 31 years old. More than 31 years old. Be 32 years old pretty soon here. Most recently was the mysterious killing of Elisa Lamb. Look at the gematria of her name. EL forms 5-3. On a side note, if you drop this I, it forms the name Elsa, like the name from the main character in Frozen, which is Disney's 53rd animated film. 53rd animated film, the name Elsa also begins with that 5-3. It doesn't have the 9, so it becomes 5-3-1-1. And Disney and Pixar both admit to coding 3-1-1 and 1-1-3 into their films. But yeah, look at her name. Her name becomes 5-3-9-1-1. Elisa Lamb. Lamb forms the gematria of 8. 19 plus 8 sums to 27. Think about rock stars dying at the age of 27. Most of them have life numbers of 27 or 28. And her initials are EL, 5-3, just like the first letters in her name. The police officer who confirmed that her death was from a natural drowning, if you guys didn't know, she was found. She disappeared January 31st, 131. Her body was found February 19th in the water reservoir at the top of the hotel, and they said it's a natural drowning. No murder charges, nothing investigated, just a natural death. The police officer who's in charge of the investigation is named Fred Coral. Fred has a 33 gematria, just like the word police. Coral sums to 67, so this guy's name sums to 100. You don't see a lot of 100s. Interesting. And also what I wanted to point out about this, you guys, is down in the comments, please do go read my written post. Within that post, I have linked another article. Click on that link. Read what I've written. Click on the link within it. That link will take you to a YouTube video of the final minutes of her life, or the last recorded footage of her just before she disappeared. And what you see is that she's in an elevator pushing all the buttons. It's not working. She looks very frightened. She keeps peeking out of the elevator real quick. After a little bit, she does this weird, frantic dance type of thing. You'll see if you watch it. Maybe a dance isn't the right word, but hard to explain. Just watch the video. But what I really want you to pay attention to is what I noticed with my own eyes that I don't see anybody else writing about. Near the end of the video, she disappears off the camera, and the elevator door that was being filmed all this time starts to open and close, open and close. And you'll notice that the background that you can see the whole time throughout the entire video, it's black. It looks like it's black windows or black paneling. Near the very end of the video, while the elevator door is opening and closing, all of a sudden the elevator door opens and all the paneling is now a red background. Just a red solid background. And I don't see anybody commenting that anywhere on the web, and I don't know how that's been overlooked, because it's really bizarre that all of a sudden the whole background would just change. So it shows you that the video's edited, and it just makes you wonder if maybe the entire thing is just a fake spoof, more coding by the numbers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this girl was really murdered, if she really existed. If you read the official story, it just sounds a little bit too cheesy. Hotel guests started complaining that the water tasted funny. That's how they ended up finding her body. I mean, I don't know. I've never drank water with a dead body in it, but I imagine it would taste more than funny. Maybe I'm wrong about that. So, yeah, this is it, Truth Seekers. These are supposed to be ongoing mysteries, but like so many other things from the Zodiac Killer to this, I say it's all wrapped up. I say the people doing these killings are probably, the people at the top of the police department and the hooligans that they encounter. And all this stuff seems to be ran by the Freemasons, whoever the high-ranking Freemasons are in each city. So this is a Los Angeles thing. My guess is that the high-ranking Freemasons who sit atop police departments and other positions in the area, they're behind all of this. And I'm sure that they own this building as well. It's now under a new name. It's no longer called the Cecil Hotel. But it probably is under the same ownership. So maybe that deserves investigation. All right. Until next time, Truth Seekers, thanks as always.